He just thought people would like think that's funny because she was like nervous and like excited for the date. But people were like, what? Like, why are you saying that online? Because like, why are you trying to make Selena Gomez look desperate? The first red flag for Selena Gomez would have been that she's like dating this like multi-millionaire guy and she has to drive to his house to like pick him up, or like he's not coming to pick her up and like take her out, or at least like sending her a driver.
Selena Gomez is going through a rough patch right now. Her personal life and business dealings are being dragged through the mud, and it seems like the pressure is only getting worse. Rumors are flying left and right. Some people are saying her boyfriend, Benny Blanco, might be acting shady behind her back. At the same time, fans think Selena's falling out with her longtime friend, Teresa Marie, might be more serious than it looks. The biggest talk: that Benny might be getting a little too close to Teresa, like subscribing to her OnlyFans and even grabbing lunch with her in public. People said the way they were sitting looked a little too friendly, and the internet caught fire with speculation. Teresa has been in Selena's life for years. Their friendship goes all the way back to 2014. They were close, like real family. So when the story broke that something might have gone down between her and Benny, fans couldn't believe it. If true, this would be the third time Selena's had drama with someone from her close circle. That's not a great sign, especially when these friendships have lasted for so long. While all that's been going on, Selena's startup company Wondermind, which she launched with her mom Mandy Teefey to support mental health, is reportedly in serious trouble. Sources say they're struggling to even pay their staff. Mandy even admitted that she had to take out a loan just to keep things running. Naturally, people are looking at Selena and asking why she's not helping out more financially. With all the money she's made, why isn't she stepping in to keep the business alive? Well, Forbes recently cleared that up by reporting Selena isn't actually a billionaire. That explains a lot, including why she hasn't written a big check to save Wondermind. This whole situation has fans talking nonstop. Benny and Teresa's so-called closeness is a major red flag to some. The gossip got louder when someone spotted Selena unfollowing Teresa on Instagram. Selena rarely interacts with social media like that, so when she unfollows someone, especially someone close to her, it sends a message. That's when fans really started piecing things together and thinking that something had gone seriously wrong. Back in April, Selena was seen in LA with her usual group: Pashley Cook, Courtney Lopez, and Raquel Stevens. These are the people who've been in her life for a long time and who she's leaned on during some tough moments. Raquel, in particular, was misunderstood by fans for a while, especially during the My Mind and Me documentary period when people unfairly painted her as a bad influence. Turns out they were wrong. But interestingly, Teresa wasn't at that gathering, and around the same time, Selena hit the unfollow button on her. So it looks like the falling out might have started well before anyone noticed.
My most underrated song is. You don't even know my songs.
Do you want some ice cream? Do you want some ice cream?
Ice cream?
I don't know. I don't know what song you would have done. I'm sorry, babe.
I just get no answer? All right, cool. I just get no answer? All right, cool. Yeah, don't worry.
As more footage popped up online, fans spotted a clip where Benny and Teresa seemed a little too comfortable sitting next to each other. Add that to the rumor that Benny subscribed to her OnlyFans, and social media went wild. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, every platform was full of people trying to make sense of it all. A lot of folks believe Selena dropped Teresa because of Benny's behavior, but the twist is Selena didn't break up with Benny. She's still with him. To make matters worse, Teresa posted a story showing Benny's People magazine cover, where he was named Sexiest Man Alive. Fans saw that as a subtle flex and started speculating even more. The media jumped on the story too. Posting headlines that suggested Selena's unfollow was directly tied to this messy love triangle. But there still isn't any solid proof of cheating, just a whole lot of fan theories and vague social media clues. Selena tried to calm things down a bit by posting cute photos with Benny, and even threw in an old pic of her with Teresa in a photo dump. But she didn't say anything directly about what happened. She hasn't followed Teresa back either. That silence says a lot. Things between them don't seem right, but there's still no official word of a permanent fallout. It's important to know that Teresa wasn't just a casual friend. She used to work for Selena as an assistant, and over time they became very close. They even lived together for a while. So for Selena to suddenly unfollow her hints at something real going on, not just random internet drama, people are quick to blame Benny for all of this, not necessarily because of hard evidence, but because they don't like him for Selena. Some fans think she could do better, or that he's not as invested in the relationship as she is. But again, that's all based on personal opinion, not facts. So that's where things stand right now. Selena is in a storm of drama involving her boyfriend, her friend, and her business. No one knows for sure what's going on behind closed doors. But fans are watching closely and reading into every move she makes online. The unfollow, the social media posts, the silences, all part of a very public story that's still unfolding. Some people think Benny Blanco is constantly embarrassing Selena Gomez, even if he doesn't mean to. Fans have been raising eyebrows at how he talks about their relationship in public. To them, it doesn't look like the sweet love story Selena's been trying to show online. Many aren't convinced she's truly happy with him. They're saying if she were really in love, she wouldn't be so focused on releasing new songs one after another. There's even this strange rumor that her new track with Benny includes a voice that sounds suspiciously like Justin Bieber's. Thanks to AI that's led fans to believe she might still have feelings for Justin, even while being with Benny. It's a theory that's gotten a lot of attention online, especially from those who think she's just forcing herself to stay in this relationship. Then there's Benny himself. Whether it's meant to be funny or just part of his personality, he keeps saying things about Selena that many think crossed the line. His latest story, he said that when they first started dating, Selena was so worried about being on time that she used to show up 20 to 30 minutes early and just sit outside his house in her car. Not only did he tell this to the world, but he added that the only reason he knew she was out there was because he saw her on his security cameras. Yeah, he didn't say she texted or called him. He said he spotted her through the cameras and just ... watched. That rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It's not just awkward, it feels uncomfortable. Why would anyone share that publicly? Why was she sitting out there waiting while he stayed inside? And why didn't he just invite her in right away? It made people feel like Benny is passive while Selena is doing all the work. Many TikTok users even said this dynamic is putting Selena in what they call her masculine energy. Basically, they feel like she's the one chasing him, while he's just sitting back and letting her do everything. And when you think about it, that story makes it sound like Benny's not the one making the effort at all. It's not what fans expect from someone dating one of the most well-known women in pop culture. The more Benny talks, the worse it seems. This wasn't even the first time he made it sound like Selena was the one chasing him. He said before that when they first started hanging out, Selena thought they were on a date, while he didn't. According to him, she later told him, "I would have worn something different if I knew this was a date." And his response? Wait, we're on a date? That kind of confusion made fans wonder what kind of dynamic they had in the beginning. Was Benny really interested, or was Selena trying to make something happen that wasn't there at first? Even when it comes to saying I love you, Benny told the world that Selena said it first. In fact, they made a whole album theme around it, I Said I Loved You First. While some might see that as romantic, others think it just shows how much more Selena seems to be giving in the relationship. If she's always the first one making moves, fans worry she might be the one trying too hard. While Benny just coasts, these constant reveals aren't sitting well with Selena's fans. Some are now convinced that Benny might be doing all this on purpose to make her look foolish. They think he's tired of hearing people say Selena's too good for him and is trying to flip the narrative. But others argue Benny has always been this way, unfiltered, random, and a little too open. It's just that now his casual comments are being picked apart in public, and they don't sound great. There's a double standard that people are noticing too. In the past, women who acted like Selena showing up early, saying I love you first, chasing a man would be labeled as desperate or clingy. But now, it's a guy putting all that out there, and it's Selena who ends up looking bad. People are calling that out, and it's making the whole relationship seem even messier. What's worse is that these moments are coming straight from Benny, not from leaked messages or rumors.
How do you act?
She asked me out.
What? It was crazy. And I didn't even realize we were on a date. And she was like, well, if this, I would have worn something different to this date. And I was like, wait, what? We're on a date? I had no idea.
She said that?
No idea we were on the date.
It was so crazy. When we went out on our first date, I didn't even know it was a date. She was just like, well, I would have worn something different for this date. And I was like, what? We're on a date?
He's the one telling the world that Selena was always the one making the moves. Benny even joked in interviews that he doesn't understand how he ended up with Selena. He's called himself ugly and not good looking enough for her. He said, dating her felt like charity. That might have been meant as a joke, but it didn't land well with everyone. Some people laughed it off, but others were uncomfortable. Constantly saying things like that can wear a person down even if it starts as humor. It creates this uneven dynamic where Selena is praised and he just trashes himself. That kind of self-deprecating attitude might be his way of coping. Or maybe he just thinks it's funny. But fans are asking, does Selena actually like hearing her boyfriend talk like this about himself? Does she enjoy being constantly put on a pedestal while he makes himself the punchline? For some people, that would be exhausting. Having a partner who always downplays himself can shift the relationship into an odd place where one person is always apologizing for not being enough. And while Benny might think that's charming, others see it as emotionally draining still. Maybe this is just how their relationship works. Maybe Selena is okay with Benny being goofy, blunt, and a little weird about their romance, but when so much of their story is being shared publicly, it opens the door to a lot of judgment. And right now, most of that judgment is falling on Selena. Whether it's fair or not, fans are starting to see her as the one doing all the work. While Benny just makes jokes and tells stories that make her look a little desperate, so far, Selena hasn't commented on any of this. She hasn't said a word about Benny's stories or the theories online. Maybe she's trying to keep her private life quiet, or maybe she's hoping it all blows over. But with the way Benny keeps talking, it doesn't look like this drama is going to fade anytime soon. It's getting wild out here. But maybe this is just the kind of guy Selena Gomez goes for now? The internet is convinced that when a woman dates a guy who's not traditionally attractive, there's this switch that happens suddenly. He starts acting like he's the catch. And every time Benny Blanco makes another awkward, self-deprecating joke, it adds fuel to that fire. At this point, fans feel like Benny's whole image is built around making himself the punchline. But ironically, it just keeps making Selena look like she's the one chasing him. Social media is not letting that slide. Some folks are now convinced that marriage might not even be on the horizon for these two. Every time someone brings it up, Selena dodges the question with a too busy excuse, while Benny just sits there looking confused or disappointed. That vibe, it's not giving we're getting married soon. It's giving we haven't talked about it seriously. This isn't the first time Benny's looked thrown off either. Remember that episode of Hot Ones? Selena was asked what she thought was his most underrated song. Instead of giving an answer, she said something like, "I don't know what song you would have done. I'm sorry, babe. Yeah, not great." To be fair, she was probably too focused on surviving those blazing hot wings. But still, it didn't seem like she had a favorite Benny song ready to go. And Benny's reaction? Crushed. He looked like he got the wind knocked out of him and even said, "So I just get no answer." It was super awkward. The host tried to smooth it over, but by then the uncomfortable moment was already out there for everyone to dissect. It's possible that Selena and Benny are working on wedding plans behind the scenes, especially since she's been open about wanting a special moment with her grandpa on her wedding day. She once said she plans to have a first dance with him because he never got to walk her mom down the aisle. That's a pretty personal dream, and it shows she's thought about this stuff. Plus, Ed Sheeran mentioned during a Vanity Fair lie detector test that he's been invited to Benny's wedding. That's a strong sign that something is in the works even if they're keeping it quiet. But Benny really doesn't know when to stop over. In a recent interview, he talked about their first kiss and how Selena reacted. According to him, she was so overwhelmed and nervous, she literally broke out in a rash. Benny, being Benny, joked that she probably just found him disgusting and couldn't handle it. There he goes again with the "I'm gross" routine. It's kind of his thing now, but Selena later explained it was actually the opposite. She liked him so much that her body freaked out. She admitted that before Benny, her dating experiences were mostly surface level. She called them ditty dates, meaning they were casual and didn't involve deep emotions. So yeah, her reaction makes more sense in that context. But then Benny's out here calling her insane for showing up at his house? During the early days of dating, as if he didn't realize how much she cared. It's like every time she shows real effort, he turns it into a punchline. And that's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. All this relationship drama is happening while Selena's business life is also taking hits. Her mental health company, Wondermind, is in serious trouble. The company, which she co-founded with her mom, Mandy Teefee, was supposed to promote mental fitness through content like interviews, podcasts, and wellness tips. But behind the scenes, things aren't looking good. Reports say that Wondermind has laid off over 60% of its staff and is buried in debt. For a company that was backed by a global superstar and aimed at something as important as mental health, this is a pretty big fall. It got worse when Mandy admitted that she had to take out a loan on her home to keep things going. That kind of move raised serious eyebrows. How could a business tied to someone as famous and wealthy as Selena run into that kind of trouble? Then came the financial breakdowns. Wondermind allegedly owes thousands to freelancers and even has over $60,000 in unpaid bills with a PR firm. That's just what's been made public. Insiders are saying the actual debt could be way more than anyone realizes. Naturally, people started questioning Selena. If she's so rich, why isn't she covering the costs? Why let your employees and partners go unpaid? But here's where things got a little misunderstood. A lot of people think that net worth means how much money a person has sitting in their bank account. That's not how it works. Net worth is the value of all your assets minus your debts. It includes property, investments, businesses, and other long-term holdings. It's not just about cash you can access immediately. Forbes recently stepped in and confirmed that Selena isn't a billionaire. Her estimated net worth is around $700 million, not small change by any means, but far from billionaire status. Most of that is tied up in real estate, brand partnerships, music royalties, and other business assets. So while she's doing well financially, she doesn't have hundreds of millions just lying around ready to spend. Think of it this way. Someone might have a house worth $300,000, a retirement account with $100,000, and investments totaling $80,000. That makes their net worth $480,000. But the actual cash they can use might be just $10,000 or $20,000. Same thing with Selena. Her wealth is real, but it's not sitting in a giant vault waiting to be handed out. Selena's fans tried to counter the backlash by pointing out that she and Benny bought a $35 million home together. But again, owning a luxury house doesn't mean you've got endless cash to bail out a failing company. Yes, $35 million is a huge number, but it's still far off from $700 million and even further from $1 billion. That house is an asset, not a bag of cash. And buying a house like that is usually a long-term move, often with financing involved, not an all-cash transaction. At the end of the day, Selena isn't broke. She's still one of the most financially successful celebrities of her generation, but she's not some untouchable billionaire who can solve every business issue with a check. The failure of Wondermind isn't just a money problem. Either it reflects poor management and business planning, something even the richest people can struggle with. So while Benny's out here making quirky comments and Selena's personal life looks like a sitcom, the truth is her business is facing real consequences. People are losing jobs, freelancers are chasing unpaid invoices, and her reputation as a leader in mental health is taking hits. Combine that with the strange, sometimes cringy moments in her relationship, and it's clear that things aren't as perfect as they seem on social media. Her fans are trying to protect her image, but the cracks are showing. And as long as Benny keeps talking and Wondermind keeps sinking, the spotlight isn't going anywhere. Forbes recently reported that Selena Gomez didn't provide them with a detailed breakdown of her finances. But let's be real, Forbes has a long history of digging deep when it comes to celebrity net worth. Sure, they've made a few headline-grabbing mistakes in the past, but they also don't hesitate to correct themselves. Just look at the whole Kylie Jenner situation. At one point, Forbes named Kylie the youngest self-made billionaire. Then, after a deeper investigation, they took it back. Turns out, the Kardashian-Jenner camp had allegedly exaggerated Kylie Cosmetics' earnings, and Forbes didn't sugarcoat it. They published a full exposé titled Inside Kylie Jenner's Web of Lies, breaking down how her billionaire title was basically built on inflated numbers. The fallout from that was huge. So, when Selena's fans brush off Forbes reporting like it's unreliable, it honestly comes off as damage control. Some fans even went as far as claiming that Hailey Bieber's team paid Forbes to publish the article about Selena's net worth. Yeah, that's the kind of conspiracy theory floating around. It's a stretch, but that's how intense stans can get online. The truth is, back in 2024, Bloomberg estimated Selena's net worth at $1.3 billion and labeled her a billionaire. Her team didn't deny it, in fact. They quietly liked posts about it on Instagram, kind of giving it their stamp of approval. Forbes acknowledged Bloomberg's estimate but pointed out the possible reason for the mismatch. They were calculating Selena's rare beauty stake differently. And that's important, because rare beauty is where most of her money is tied up. She owns a reported 51% of the brand, which is a massive chunk. But this also explains why she might not be pouring money into Wondermind, because her real financial focus is Rare Beauty, not the mental health company she co-founded. When the news broke that Wondermind couldn't pay its workers, Selena's supporters quickly came to her defense. They said she wasn't super involved in day-to-day operations, and that she probably wasn't even in control of the company's finances. That might be true, but it still doesn't look good. Selena has positioned herself as someone who's deeply committed to mental health. She's talked about her own struggles and turned them into a big part of her public identity. So when her own mental health company lays off more than half its staff and can't pay bills, it sends the wrong message, especially if she stays silent about it. The optics are messy. It gives the impression that mental health has become just another part of Selena's brand, something that looks good on paper or in interviews but doesn't go deeper than that. If it really mattered to her the way she says it does, fans think she'd be more involved or at least make sure things didn't fall apart like this. Laying off 60% of a staff while you're being called a billionaire doesn't add up for a lot of people. And then came Forbes with a little extra heat. They quoted a source who claimed Selena barely does anything for Wondermind and that her team has to fight with her just to get her involved. Allegedly, she's only met with the staff once in the past 3 years. A spokesperson from Wondermind quickly denied it, calling the claims false. But still, when a respected outlet like Forbes runs with that kind of quote, it leaves a mark. Whether it's true or not, it makes people start asking more questions about how hands-on Selena really is with the company. As of now, there haven't been any major updates on Wondermind's future. It's still unclear whether they're trying to recover or if the layoffs were the beginning of the end. Either way, this situation has shaken up the narrative around Selena's image. She's usually seen as the kind, grounded celebrity who keeps her business clean. But with this financial mess playing out so publicly, even her most loyal fans are starting to take a closer look. But don't worry if anything changes. We'll keep you posted on all the updates surrounding Wondermind and Selena's involvement. And just a heads up, we've got a whole new video coming soon about that wild public smear campaign linked to the Biebers. You'll definitely want to catch that. It's got some serious drama that could change how you see a few key players in this entire scene. And for those already typing up comments, asking why Selena's finances are under the microscope, while outlets like TMZ are claiming Justin Bieber is drowning in debt to Scooter Braun, hold that thought. We're not ignoring, there's a separate deep dive video coming your way all about what's going on with Justin, his money, and the Scooter situation. In the meantime, let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think is really going on between Selena and Benny? Do you believe the rumors about Teresa? And what's your take on the Wondermind drama? Was Selena too hands-off? Or is she just caught in the middle of bad management? Either way, it's a lot, and we want to hear what you think. Make sure you like, share, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next spill. We've got more tea coming soon, and you'll want to be here when it drops. See you in the next one.